the real reason that club culture is failing is because they've priced out all of the hot guys from the club. I club all the time. I've been clubbing in Miami, Las Vegas, New York, Ibiza. In all of the clubs, it's all about bottle service and it's all about tables, and that's what the club cares about. And they also don't even want regular guys in the club. They only want guys in the club if they're buying a table. And think about who is buying a table. Old men, married men, foreign businessmen, or it's like a promoter and 20 girls. Whenever the club is catering towards these old men, the girls in the club, yeah, you can go and dance with your friends and drink for free, but if you're ever like on the actual dance floor, it's like a hellscape because the whole club is geared towards tables. They don't want the dance floor to be fun. They want it to be overcrowded and awful because they want people to buy tables. Girl, and you want to go out and you want to dance with your friends and you want to kiss a hot boy, there is no hot guys in the club. Girls want to be where the hot guys are. I'm sorry if this is offensive. In the same way that the men buying the tables only want hot girls there, hot girls want to be where hot guys are. Hot guys are in a dive bar, they're in a regular bar, they're not in a club spending $1,000 on a $30 bottle of Casamigos. That's not where they are. Really, it was old rich men who ruined the club. You think about peak Jersey Shore, the guys and the girls were just all in the club together and everyone was just on the dance floor dancing. The club is just not like that at all anymore, and girls are a commodity to these rich old men who spend $15,000 on a table just so they can sit near them for a night. And there is a limit on how much you can listen to an old man yap in your ear. In order to save the clubs, we must start letting the hot guys in again.
Ugly dude here. Hot friends don't go to the club because they can just swipe on apps and bag girls easily. Same reason they also don't approach women IRL in general. Most of the people who approach and actually go out to bars and clubs are ugly men, because we're not getting that much success on the apps. The lack of hot men is independent of the price of going to the club. Even if it was cheaper and all dance spaces and no tables, why spend even $100 buying drinks for a girl and dealing with the anxiety of getting rejected when you can use a free app and find women who are DTF, and at most maybe spend some cash on a coffee date?
I'm going to tell you why the club scene is over. The club scene is over because men want to be women. And when I say men want to be women, they want to cut the line. They want to go in with the promoter. They don't want to buy their drinks. They don't want to buy their bottle. They put on their best fit to impress other men. They're at this club to see this performer, to get a video that they were there and then talk about it for months that they know this performer. You know what I mean? They want to stand on stages with performers. Look at the Metro Boomin shit. That was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. At least if you're going to be a man that wants to stand on the booth, stand on the stage, stand in the section, at least bring a vibe. You're all just standing there looking at each other, clocking each other. I'm like, what's the point? And then you have other people on here like, oh, girls don't wear heels anymore to the club. Because there's nowhere to sit. There's nowhere to sit. You get to the promoter section, it's filled with the promoter's friends. The promoter will be like, oh, hey, like, you got to get up. Like, these women are here. Like, you got to get up. Like, these are the stars of the show. And they're having an attitude about it. And half the time when these guys do buy sections, they're standing on the couch. They don't even care about the girls in the club. They're not there to impress girls. They're there to impress other men, to post on their Instagram story. They're acting like they bought a plot of land in the club. And I don't even go to the club anymore. But when I do work at the club, I've even noticed this myself. It's insane work. You're in a bathroom line, no guy's letting you cut. You're at the bar, no guy's offering to buy your drink. And they don't even dance. Like, they don't even, like, what are you doing there? What are you doing there? It's so embarrassing. Like, it used to be the girls' show. Like, the girls come in with all these promoters, all these table sections, put on their best birthday suit, and pop outside. And they're the reason why big spenders in the club spend money. Like, if you have beautiful women and men willing to spend money, more money is spent with the beautiful woman. Not anymore. Not anymore. There's not even money to be made in the club because there's nobody on display besides these men in their Amiri jeans and their borrowed chains posting for an Instagram story. It's actually embarrassing. Aren't you embarrassed? And I knew this plague was upon us when I kept seeing the videos of all the men dancing on elevated platforms at Club Space. At Club Space. Fighting to be in the DJ booth with John Summit. Like, the math isn't mathing. And I think this is genuinely a reflection of where we're at as a society. Women are fighting for their role. It's crazy.
I hate to say this, but women did this to ourselves. Women wanted to be equal so bad, not realizing women and men are different, and that's okay. So since women wanted to be equal to men in certain ways, men feel like they should be equal to women in certain ways.
Oh my god, Destiny, what happened? We don't see you at the club anymore. Oh my god, Destiny, why aren't you at the club anymore? Oh my god, Destiny, you don't want to come out with us to the club anymore? No. The boys are on the couches. The boys are on the couches. Why would I come and the boys are on the couches? Getting on the couch used to be a bad bitch sport. Like, you used to have to be a bad bitch to be able to sit in the section on the couch. Like, you could have been a cute girl and you get into the section and you stand. All night you're standing. Now you go to the club and it's only boys on the couch. It's only boys. There's not even a girl on there. It's only boys in the section standing on the couches. Mind you, I love the club. I love outside. I love the club. I used to go to the club 5 nights a week. Like, it got so bad, security used to know me by my first name, not check my bag, not check my ID, walk me in. That's how much I used to love the club. But I went recently and I noticed 25 men sitting on the couch and all the girls on the floor standing around the table. And I could understand, maybe I got ugly. Maybe I got ugly and they don't want to let me on the couch. But there's not a single woman on the couch. And if I do get on the couch these days, I'm literally in competition with all these men elbowing me, sweating on me. Like, it's to the point I don't even want to be on the couch. You guys have it. It's really hard to be up here because you guys are making it really hard to be up here. When it used to only be girls on the couch, there were no issues. All the bad bitches on the couch, dancing, talking, drinking, having a good time. All the men on the floor, dancing, talking, bobbing their head to the music, having a good time in their sneakers. Now they want you to show up in 6-inch heels, little tiny outfits, hair and makeup done, to stand around the table while they get the couch, jump up and down, spill their drinks on you, screaming dreams and nightmares at the top of their lungs. No, I don't like the club, actually. The boys are on the couches. The boys are on the couches. Couches used to be bad bitch real estate. Like, that's what I'm, like, I don't think clubbing is dead. I don't think clubbing is dead at all. I think the target audience has changed because the boys spend money. Duh, that's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's always been. The boys spend the money, the girls come make the section look good. The boys stayed off the couches because if you think about it, the most visible part of any section is the couch. You're in higher elevation, so you're going to be seen. You wanted all the bad bitches to be on your couch so that everybody in the club knew, hey, I'm big dog, look at all the bad bitches in my section. But now all the boys are on the couch, jumping up and down, dancing with each other, making the girls stand. The target audience is now boys, and boys who want to put on a show for other boys. Why do I want to be a part of that? It's now it's now a boy. It's a boy thing now, and I'm a girl, and I just don't do boy stuff. So yeah, I stopped going to the club. I don't think clubbing is dead, though. I'm sure the club is still fun, but it's just not fun for girls anymore. It's just a guy thing. So I think girls should just stop going to the club. I think girls should start going to brunch, start going to the bars together. I think we need to leave the club alone, let the boys have it, because the boys want it. I think the boys are on the couches, and sometimes with men, you just gotta let them have it, even if that means you don't go to the club anymore. Let's go have fun everywhere else.
Mind you, when we had this convo about men being aggressive to us in the club, and they said if you don't want to get harmed, then stay home, because that's what you want.
I've already seen 3 videos of men's point of view on why they feel like club culture is dying, and their go-to is women are broke. Women don't have any money. Men are the only ones in the club buying bottles. If it wasn't for the men, club culture would be dead completely. Babe, I feel like club culture is dying already, and it's because of the men, okay? And this is not going to turn into a I hate all men. No. However, y'all are going to strictly put it on women being broke. That's y'all's go-to. Genuinely asking. That's going to be y'all's go-to. That's what you're shooting for. That the reason why the club culture is so trash is because women are broke. Babe, I can guarantee you it's not that. Okay? First of all, are we going to discuss the entry fees that they're charging now? Are we going to discuss the lines? Are we going to discuss the music? Are we going to discuss the freaking outline of the club itself? Are we going to discuss how men are literally buying out section for their homeboys. And I even saw somebody in another video saying, why would I spend money on a girl when I can spend money on my boys? Babe, what? What? Well, she not gonna put out, so I might as well just spend money on my homeboys. Well, is he putting out? Is that what you're telling me? Because what? The discussion is getting like, I don't even know. I don't even know. Again, there were people in my last videos, and I didn't even say anything disrespectful, and the men were in the comments being sassy as hell.
Men are busy getting educated, traveling, eating good food, building community, spending time in our hobbies. Our money is being invested in us. Plus, men do club when they travel. Club culture outside of the US is still great.
The reason why clubbing sucks is because of rampant misogyny and red pill. And until you get those two things under control, it's always going to continue to suck. The demise of club culture is just a symptom of a bigger cultural issue, and it is red pill. You want to make clubbing fun again, it needs to revolve around women. Women need to be prioritized, and misogyny makes it so that's impossible. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me go back a little bit. It has been proven by science that men who marry tend to live healthier and longer than men who remain single. But on the other hand, women who remain single and childless are likely to live the longest of anyone on this earth. So literal science has proved that women have nothing to gain by pairing up with men long term, while men have everything to gain by pairing up with women long term. Science has literally proven that marriage benefits men in ways that it'll never benefit women, that women have more to lose by getting married. Which means that if heterosexual marriage benefits men in the long term, then heterosexual marriage and relationships in general should benefit women in the short term. That is the reason why when you go on dates, you shouldn't be going 50-50. That is the reason why when you go on dates, he should be covering all of it. Because he needs to make it worth it for you in the short term, so that in return, you can make it worth it for him in the long term. Are you following me? Because what you are subtly reminding them is that, hey, unfortunately, you need me more than I need you. In the long term, you stand to gain more from this marriage. From us getting married and having children, you stand to gain more than I do. If we are applying the same concept of long-term versus short-term gain, apply that to club culture as well. Club culture was over and dead and shot in the back of the head the minute that the price of entry was the same for men and women. The club should actually always be free for women. Because a club full of beautiful women will always bring men. It'll always bring men to it, right? A club and a party that can exist of just women will thrive and be perfectly fine. A club that is full of just men, no one's going to that. A club full of just all women will bring out other women. We see it all the time. They throw parties for just specifically women all the time, and those parties will be packed to the brim. A party advertised for just men, and that's meant to advertise to heterosexual men, is not going to bring out more men. The only way that club culture that is specifically targeting their core demographic is heterosexual people, the only way that it thrives if it revolves around women. Sorry, they are the star of the show. Get off that fucking table. You're not a diva, babe. Leave it to the girls. Get down. Back in my day when I first started clubbing, the club was always full to the brim with women. Because back in my day, I could be dead broke and I could still go out. As long as I had an outfit to wear and me and my friend had $20 to buy a bottle to pregame with, we could go because the club was free for us. We would go out fucking 4 nights in a row. You want to know why? Because the club was free to us. And every single time we went, guess what? It was packed to the brim. If I could take it one step further and say the attitude of making women pay entry in the same exact amount of entry fee as men instead of letting them in for free is the exact reason why men don't really buy drinks in the club anymore as well. Because if you let all the women in for free, right, if the ticket price was supposed to be $35 or $40 or whatever it was, and you let the women in for free, guess what? I walk in there, guess what? Now I'm up $40. Now I have $40 to drink with. Oh, great. Now it seems like I can buy 3 or 4 drinks. Now I'm good. So throughout this night, I'm not going out of my way to approach men first and try and make small talk with them in hopes that maybe he'll like me enough to buy me a drink because I'm like, girl, I'm good. I have my extra money. I'm good. So that forces men to have to walk up to women and immediately offer to buy them a drink because they know that the women don't really need them. So they have to essentially bring an offering, a gift as a way to open up conversation. Because the club has created an environment that has already told you that women are the prize in this room, right? That women are the valuable ones, that women are the ones who are bringing the experience, who are making this a fun event. And therefore, they understand they need to get in their good graces as a way to have a good night. When you started charging everyone the same amount to get into the party, and then also you did the whole thing with sections where it was the norm for everyone to have their own section because you left such little room on the dance floor, it suddenly stopped being about women and started becoming a pissing contest amongst men to see who could prove that they had the most money as a way to essentially peacock in front of the women. But women, for the most part, don't fucking like that because they don't go out looking for an experience where they get to watch a bunch of men put on a show. They go out to have a good time amongst each other. You created a club culture and an environment that is about men showing off who can be the flashiest, when a club should be about women having the experience. Why would women show up to your functions and to your events when you are giving them nothing in the short term, aka like letting them in for free, right? When you are the one who benefits in the long term, aka throw a great party, they bring all the men out, they force the men to spend money. Also, a party full of beautiful women, people see videos of that online, people hear about it, and the next time you throw a party, it'll be packed to the brim because the expectation is that, oh my God, when so-and-so throws a party, it's going to be full of a bunch of beautiful women. Sorry, you want club culture, you want partying to be fun again? Women are the prize, and the party needs to be about women. The DJ needs to be playing music that is specifically for the women. The party promoters and the people need to be letting in the women for free. There should be, at the very minimum, drink specials that are specifically for the women. There is a reason why in the early 2000s, when you went to the club, there was going to be a long line of men waiting outside while the bouncer was letting in 10 women and 2 guys. I'm sorry, Red Pill has infiltrated every single aspect of our lives, and you hate the idea that women are the prize, but babe, the proof is right there.
Women said they are just slightly too young to have experienced any true club culture, and the closest I've gotten to it was the cruise their family took this summer, because the clubs at night were free to everyone on board. They want guys buying me drinks every night of the cruise.
Oh, girls constantly make videos or try to lie to themselves and say that, like, the reason that they go out to clubs, like most people in general, male or female, but they claim it's not because, like, they're, like, you know, trying to make themselves available, like they're trying to get somebody to eventually come and approach them. Especially girls that are in relationships will be like, hey, like, you know, it's a little inappropriate to go there. Like, you know, obviously guys are going to hit on you, and they're like, oh, I'm just trying to have fun. And then you're like, hey, why don't you just go to an all-female nightclub or go to one that for gay people? You know, why don't you go to that? And they're like, oh, I would if it was available. Well, guess what? There was one of those. Well, Women's Only nightclub closes after only one night because nobody was buying alcohol. This is why whenever I see videos of girls talking about, like, oh, listen, if you're not a millionaire, you don't even have to be concerned about a girl, like, using you for your money. Most women are not millionaires, okay? So they're happy to get whatever you'll give them. The reason why this only lasted one day is because there is a little bit of entitlement, whether you feel it or not, that girls expect to have things covered for them when they go out to these places. So even though they're trying to stand up to the patriarchy by being like, look, we're going to go over to this nightclub, they're not going to make any money. The whole reason that this industry makes money is because of men. And yes, why do men come there? Because of the women. More of the story here is we can see the sad reality of what happens if there was a female-only nightclub, and it's not financially very good, but that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
The nightlife model always depended on men funding the atmosphere, while women curated the vibe. And once men decided the return on investment wasn't worth it, the whole ecosystem started wobbling.
Do you know what I've noticed? So many men in relationships will tolerate a relationship and will tolerate so much crap that the woman will do to the man in a relationship. But as soon as a woman is in a relationship where she feels like the man is not treating her right or not doing enough for her, she will immediately associate it with, I can do better in my head, and then she will only think about herself, and she will throw away everything and hurt the man just to go and find what she thinks she's missing. Women don't fight for relationships as much as men do, but then women say that men are the ones who are always breaking up with them, men are the ones who are always leaving them, and men are the ones who are always cheating on them. From what I've seen, men are much more likely to actually try and make a relationship work and to actually try and stay and even suffer in a relationship for much longer than a woman would. Like, let me know why you think that is, or if you've noticed that too, because I don't really get it.
You can't spend years criticizing male behavior in clubs, shaming approaches, and framing attention as entitlement, then act shocked when men decide staying home with peace and savings feels smarter.
Where is my man at? Where is my man at? I hate to make my entire life about relationships, but where is my man at?
He's living his best life, staying away from entitled modern women such as yourself.
If you think boundaries are controlling, you are not ready for a relationship. The right boundaries do not trap you. They protect what you guys share with each other. Let's talk about some examples. Night out at the club while in a committed relationship. Huge red flag. Having a best friend of the opposite sex that you confide in more than your partner, dangerous. Private DMs with random guys you'd never show your man, straight up disloyal. These are not harmless acts. They are cracks in the foundation of the trust that you guys are trying to build together. Boundaries exist to protect the relationship from unnecessary risk. If you can't handle giving up male attention or temptation, then you're actually not ready for a commitment. Loyalty isn't supposed to feel like a prison. It's supposed to feel like safety. And the truth is, women who resist these boundaries are usually the same ones who end up crossing them. So ask yourself, Do your boundaries protect your relationship or your ego? If you hate this, it might be because you know it applies to you. But if you get it, you know exactly why these rules save relationships. Agree or disagree? The comments are open.
Clubs aren't dying because music got worse. They're dying because the economics stopped making sense for men. Why drop hundreds on drinks, cover charges, and ego bruises when dating apps offer lower risk, lower cost, and way less public rejection? That's all for today. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and don't forget to press the notification bell so you get the latest updates from our channel.